Real magic in relationships means an absence of judgment of others. This quote was by Dyer. Folks, in the face of adversity, fear, or change, do you have a good support system to help you through your situation? Do you feel you have cultivated a supportive inner circle that nourishes your growth rather than deplete your energy? There's an old quote I want to share. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. This quote was by Everett Hale. Folks, in the past month, as I spoke to my friends, colleagues, and clients, I sense people have gone through many shifts and changes this year. In today's episode, I'm going to share a personal story of positive impact when you have a supportive inner circle and a helpful framework when you encounter adversity or fear. Let's cue the intro. Welcome to the Boom Vision Podcast, the show that empowers you to live an enriching life physically, mentally, and spiritually. I am your host, Benjamin Ye, and I created this podcast to give you perspectives on how to strengthen your mindset so that you can build optimal health, create aligned wealth, and connect with your higher self. It's all interconnected. Let's get to work. Hi, folks. Welcome to episode 64 of the Boom Vision Podcast. Wow, this is the last episode of 2023. And in the past few weeks, I've done quite a bit of reflections with my mastermind group, friends, and family. A common theme I've heard is how much change and transformation people have experienced this year. So I felt compelled to share with you all what I've learned with my family and friends. So I want to start with a personal story. This is the power of cultivating your circle. So during this holiday season, my family was blessed to visit Disneyland with another close friend of mine, Kevin and his family. And when we visited Disneyland, we went on a lot of different rides throughout the day, but there was this one ride, the Indiana Jones ride, that made me a little bit skeptical. And the reason being is that my daughter, Annabelle, she's in kindergarten, and when previous times that we've went on amusement park rides where it was very loud or very shaky, it would scare her. And so I didn't know if my daughter was ready for the Indiana Jones ride. Now, one of the blessings is that Kevin's daughter, whose nickname is also Nana, because we call Annabelle Nana as well, she was around the same age as Annabelle. Right when we were standing in line and I could see that Annabelle was like, well, how's this ride going to be? Well, Nana, Kevin's daughter, was holding her hand and saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's just some person pushing buttons and flipping switches behind it. It's not real. You've got this. It's going to be fun. And when I saw this, when Nana was sharing with my Nana some supportive words and encouragement, I could just see that my Nana was just more relaxed. And sure enough, after standing in line for about half an hour, and once we got onto the ride, Nana was holding my Nana in her hands as they're riding next to each other and going through this ride. And sure enough, it was very rocky. It was very loud. And then the whole time I'm watching my daughter from the back row, just making sure she's okay. But there was no signs of her being scared or wanting to get off the ride. And after we got off the ride, the first thing I was looking at my wife and I was like, oh my goodness, I hope this ride didn't traumatize my daughter. But I could tell that my daughter was fine. She got off the ride. She was holding her new bestie Nana's hands. And it didn't seem at all being fazed by this ride. And it was just so touching to see this because I just gave a look to my wife and it's like, wow, when you have someone that's able to support you with words of encouragement, of love, and just letting you know that you've got this. It really gave that boost of confidence and energy that my daughter needed to be able to say, you know what? I can do this. I do got this. And I'm just feeling it right now as I'm resharing this story, because the main takeaway I want you to get from this story is be mindful how you cultivate your inner circle. Who you decide to listen to as your soundboard can profoundly shift your thoughts, your perspectives, and your energy and how you approach a situation. Do you have a Nana in your life that can hold your hand and be that supportive role for you? And on the flip side, are you a Nana for someone in holding their hands and being that supportive role? Because our way of being, the energy we emit, we attract like kind. And so I just want you to think about that and be mindful of that. There's a quote I want to share. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. This quote was by Maya Angelou. This past weekend, my wife and I had the blessing of hosting an event for a non-profit organization, and we had a lovely opportunity to meet with a small gathering. Some words and thoughts that came up a few times throughout that event was how people can approach the feelings of fear or change. And what I want to share with you today is a framework that I shared with a group, which is what I call be well. Be well. W-E-L-L. The W stands for a witness. As you're experiencing a moment or situation where you're starting to feel either fear, anger, or any negative feeling or emotions, witness it. Witness this unfolding as if you're a third person watching this movie trailer and observing the situation independently, rather than immediately reacting to the moment. By simply witnessing the situation unfold, the intention here is just to observe what's happening. It may be that the other person or the other party is going through something that has nothing to do with you. E stands for experience. Now that you've witnessed this objectively, experience what's unfolding for you so that you can acknowledge how this is making you feel. In a safe space, allow yourself to experience how this is actually making you feel so that you can acknowledge it. What's the emotion surfacing? But as you're experiencing, it's not so much of reacting, it's just feeling through it. L stands for learn. What are you learning from this experience? What is this moment trying to teach you? Why is this happening for you rather than to you? What can you learn from this so that this doesn't happen to you again? A good place to start is just asking yourself, what's the lesson here I am to gain from this experience? And the second L stands for love. As you reflect on what you can learn from this moment, send the situation lots of loving energy. If you feel triggered, anger, or fear in your current state, and you might not feel you're capable of sending love to this current moment, that's okay. Perhaps just take a step of feeling neutral as those negative emotions and feelings dissipate. Just take a deep breath. By sending the energy of love when you're capable of it, you allow yourself to unattach yourself from the situation and moment. Because if you do send negative emotions or energy like anger, whatever it may be, you're extending an energetic cord to that person or that situation that you might not want to. Love is the highest energy and vibration that could help you move forward from the moment. So be well, W-E-L-L, be well. So with that said, what are this week's action steps that you can take as you reflect on 2023. The first one is I just want you to think about a word or phrase that best summarizes this year. For me, my word this year is shedding. What I've learned is that I've subconsciously held onto parts of my old identity or old beliefs that really no longer serve me. I now embrace my new identity, the essence of my soul, my spirit, my core. And in order to do so, I needed to shed parts of my old self to create space for the new me to embrace. So what's your word? What is your phrase for 2023? The second action step is what I call the vision board exercise. If you go to my show notes for this episode, I created a vision board exercise that I want to give to this Boom Vision community that you can download. In reflecting on what you prioritize in your life in your current stage, the intention of this exercise is to help you get clear on what you want to manifest and attract in 2024. If you feel compelled to do this exercise, go to the show notes. There will be a link to subscribe to my Boom Vision community that will allow you to download your free Vision Board 2024 worksheet. This is my gift to you as you reflect and envision what you want to manifest and attract this coming year. So final thoughts for today's episode. There's a quote I want to share. If compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. This quote was by Buddha. Folks, during this holiday season, I invite you to reflect inwards on all that you've experienced and accomplished in 2023. Before you envision what you want to manifest in 2024, I feel it's helpful to reflect what's happened to date, what are things you are proud of, and what are things you're willing to let go. As you're going through this reflection, I just ask that you show compassion towards yourself. You've got this. I love to hear your thoughts. Send me a DM on Instagram at Benjamin Ye. I'd love to hear what you want to manifest for 2024. Feel free to share with me what you want to manifest in the vision board exercise, and I'm happy to share a shout out on my Instagram page and what you share with me. If you enjoyed today's episode, I encourage you to rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts so that others can find this resource to help them start thriving in life. I really look forward to seeing you all in 2024. I invite you right now to just take one big breath with me. From my family to yours, I sincerely wish you have an abundant, loving, and warm light this holiday season. I am sending you lots of love and healing energy. Until next time, folks, be kind to yourself. Be in delight. Be you. See you next year. Thank you so much for tuning in to my Boom Vision podcast. If you'd like to find out more about me and this podcast, head over to benjaminye.com. That's spelled BenjaminYeh.com. If you haven't already, click subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.